here to talk about the Codex Tau, the 7th edition. Comes out on Halloween, which is today. This video is probably going to go up later than that, but that's when we're making it. So we're talking about the new Tau Codex. We're going to talk about the Elite section right now, which is part 4. We're going to start off with stealth battle suits. They didn't change point-wise, they didn't really change rule-wise. They're 90 points. You get 3 of them. The weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 2, attacks 2, leadership 8, and a 3+ save. Now, if you upgrade one to be a Shazwi, the Shazvray, because they're all Shazwi already, then they have 1 more attack, so 3 attacks, and their leadership 9. I think it's potentially worth doing. They're 5. Let's see. I think that's 10 points. For every 3 models in the squad, excluding drones, you may replace a burst cannon with a fusion blaster. You can take up to 3 additional stealth suits for 30 points a model. So they have the burst cannon normally, but the fusion gun's worth it. I think most people are going to do that. They have infiltrate, shrouded, stealth, and supporting fire, and their jetpack infantry. So they can deep strike, and they get to jump jetpack move. The Shazvray may take 1 item from the support systems, and he may take a homing beacon and a marker light and target lock for 5 points, and the homing beacon's 10 points. They can take bonding knife rituals for 1 point a model, and the Shazvray can take 2 drones from the drone list. I think for 30 points, they're like Terminator cost, and they have a 3-up save and no invuln. I think GW is off again. I think they had an opportunity once again to correct this, to make this better in this edition, but they didn't. I think they just kind of took the lazy way and like, hell, let's just regurgitate this and add some new units and sell more stuff. Sorry for being a little jaded, and I apologize. I really like 40K. I'm not going to leave it, but it does frustrate me a little bit. I think they could have put a little bit more into fixing this codex. Those are the parts that it needed to. And even though I'm a Tau player, I kind of wish that the marker lights would go back to 4th edition, where every point that you spend reduces 1 of cover, and it's not just 2 to get rid of all the cover, because that just is so powerful. And I think it's a little too powerful, but my opinion. The stealth suits, I think you're going to see them again this edition. If they were just left as they are right here, I think you wouldn't see them as much. But the cool thing is there's a formation we'll talk about where it's 2 units of stealth battle suits and a ghost keel unit, and it makes them really good, and it makes them really deadly, and really good against vehicles and even super heavy vehicles and walkers. So I think you're going to see these guys, because I think their formation is really good. I wish they were a little cheaper, but I still think that formation is good. By themselves, I don't think you're going to see them as much, just because I think they're a little too expensive for what you get for them. I think they're solid. I just wish they were a little points cheaper, but they're a good unit. The next one is the Crisis Battle Suits. Now, they're 22 points a model, and it comes as 1 model, but you can add up to 8 Shazwis for 22 points a model. So you can have 9-man unit, which is pretty amazing, because they didn't used to be able to get that big in the last edition. Now, their weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, strength 5, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and 3+ save. Now, the Shazvray, if you pay 10 points to have one, is leadership 9. He's got 1 more attack. He's got 3 attacks. Crisis Battle Suit, it's a jetpack infantry again, so everything with jetpacks. Supporting fire and very bulky. Now, any Crisis suit may take up to 3 items on the range weapon list and or support items. So you can take up to 3 weapons. I mean, you can only fire 2 because of your suit. It gives you the ability to fire 2 weapons instead of normally just 1. So it doesn't really behoove you to have 3 necessarily. One could argue you could potentially have a flamer or something to use for things. But I think that's spending a lot of points for something. I don't think it's worth it. Or you can have up to 3 support systems, or you could have 1 support system and 2 weapons, or 2 support systems and 1 weapon. However you want to do it. And then you can take the Chasvray can do the same thing, range weapons, signature systems, and support systems. So he can get signature systems. Any crisis suit can have up to 2 drones from the drone list, and the entire unit may take bonding knife rituals for 1 point a model. So I think a lot of times you'll see these guys with drones, although I think you're still going to see, like you did when 7th came out with the last edition, single models with fusion guns dropping down to try to take out vehicles and stuff like that. So I think this is a solid unit, and the way the new detachment works, I think there's an opportunity to have lots of battle suits, and not just have to do Farside Enclave where you got them as troops. I think in this formation or detachment, you're going to be able to see a lot of them. So the next one is Crisis Bodyguards. Now, a unit has 1 Crisis Bodyguard. I think they used to be, you had to have 3, I think. That might have just been Farsight, so I apologize if I'm wrong. But they're 32 points, so they're 10 more points. Now, they're Weapon Skill 2, Blitz Skill 3, so same as the regular Crisis Battle Suits. They have Strength 5, Toughness 4, 2 wounds, Initiative 2, Attacks 3, so they get 1 more attack, a Leadership of 9, and 3+ save. So for 10 more points, they have 1 more Leadership and 1 more attack. As a whole, normally, I don't know if it's really worth the extra 10 points for each model for that, because most of the time you don't want them in close combat. I mean, maybe if you're kitting out an Uber kit, like with your buff Mander and a good commander, sure, you might want that. Or with Shadow Sun, because he kind of wants to get into combat. So they have the same rules. They do have Swarm Protector, so an independent character in a unit that contains at least 1 model with a special rule automatically passes Lookout Sirs and Sir Attempts. You may include up to 8 additional Crisis Bodyguards for 32 points a model, so it can be 9-man unit. Any Crisis suit may take 3 items from support and range weapons, same as the Crisis battle suits. The Crisis Bodyguard, any Crisis Bodyguard may take items from signature systems, so that's a little different. And any Crisis Bodyguard may take up to 2 drones. The entire unit may take Bonding Knife Ritual for 2 points a model. So their Bonding Knife Ritual is double, it's 2 points, so it's more expensive. But most of the time, I don't think you really need them, because you're going to have a commander in there. Now, if it's a good question, but if Farsight Enclave is still supported and you can still take it, you have to take Bonding Knife's Ritual for his bodyguard unit. So the next, sorry for a little break there. You can tell I got a different shirt on, so it's been a little bit of time here. We're going to start with the Ghost Keel again, because I apologize, I got interrupted with the Ghost Keel. It's a new suit. It's 130 points. It's Weapon Skill 2, Blitz Skill 3, Strength 6, Toughness 5, Wounds 4, Initiative 2, Attacks 3, Leadership 9, Save 3+. The stealth drones that come with it, so the 130 points includes the Ghost Keel and 2 stealth drones. The stealth drones are Weapon Skill, Blitz Skill 2, Strength 3, Toughness 5, so they match the toughness of the Ghost Keel, which I think is good, because otherwise it'd be majority 4 and it'd be easier to wound them. Initiative 4, Attacks 1, Leadership 7, 4-up save. Now, they have a Fusion Collider, Ghost Keel, Electro Warfare Suite, Holophoton Countermeasures, Twin Linked Flamer, and the Ghost Keel has Fire Team Stealth Support Fire. Now, the Stealth Drone has Stealth Field, and all models in the unit with 1 or more Stealth Drones receive Stealth Special Rule, including the drone. All models that already have Stealth receive Shrouded instead, so they basically benefit from Stealth and Shrouded, which is pretty good. So the drones are getting Stealth, the Ghost Keel is getting Stealth and Shrouded. Now you can include up to 2 additional Ghost Keels with 2 drones each for 130 points. So you can have a squadron of 3 Ghost Keels and basically 6 drones. The Ghost Keel may exchange its Fusion Collider for a Cyclic Ion Raker for free, and the Ghost Keel may exchange its Twin Link Flamer for a Twin Link Burst Cannon for 5 points, or a Twin Link Fusion Blaster for 10 points. The entire unit may take Bonding Knife Ritual for 1 point per model. Now, the Ghost Keel Electro Warfare Suite and the Holophoton countermeasures. Let's go through those quick. Now, those are pretty neat, I think. Let's see. The Electro Warfare Suite cover saves bonus from having stealth and or shrouded is doubled for this model against attacks made at range 12 or greater. So you can have stealth and shrouded, which is going to give you a 3-up cover save, but it's going to double if the range is 12 inches or more from the target, the one that's shooting at you. So you're basically going to have a 2-up cover save. It says, say, max 2-up cover save. So that's pretty cool. The Holophoton countermeasures, it's once per game, and when an enemy in the enemy shooting phase, when they're going to shoot or designate them as a target to shoot at, they can declare they're going to use the countermeasures, and that target must make snapshots for that shooting phase. So that's pretty powerful. Let's say you're going to have a bunch of blast stuff and you make them do that. Basically, they're not going to be able to shoot at you that turn because they can't snap fire blast. Let's say, or heck, even let's say Eldar Wraithguard with the D-sights, they wouldn't be able to shoot at them. So that would help them. The other thing it would help for is, let's say, Grav Centurions come down in a drop pod and they're going to shoot at them. You're going to declare that, and so they need 6s to hit. And even if they have a librarian, which a lot of times they are going to have a librarian to give them prescience, they're going to have to roll 6s twice, so they're going to have a lot less chance of hurting them or hitting them in the first place. So now the cool thing with Grav Centurions and this group is as long as you have more drones than you have Ghost Keels, the average save is 4-up instead of 3-up. So the Grav's going to need a 4 to wound, which does help make them less likely to get wounded. So I would always try to make sure that you try to have more, obviously more drones than Ghost Keels, which shouldn't be hard. But I'd also kind of put them around your Ghost Keel so that they're taking the wounds first, because they don't really do anything else. And as long as you have one, so just make sure you save one, and then maybe in the middle of a drone, then they still get stealth and shrouded. So just use those drones and let them be meat for the grinder. So I know some people have been poo-pooing them. Once we get to the formations too, there's just a really good formation with the stealth suits and Ghost Keel. But I think Ghost Keels have a place of their own. Now, the Fusion Collider, which is it's a fusion gun, but it's a blast Melta, 18-inch range, strength 8 AP 1, assault 1, blast Melta. I like it, and at first I thought, well, this is going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to take that and the Fusion Blaster, and these guys are just going to be great at destroying things. I think trading it in for the Cyclic Ion Raker, which is, just make sure I got, Cyclic Ion Raker. There we go. So there's, the standard is strength 7, AP 4, assault 6, so it's 6 shots. So that's pretty good, strength 7. Overcharge is strength 8, AP 4, large blast gets hot. So I honestly think I'm probably going to run the Ion Raker and then put the Fusion Gun with it, just because I think the Fusion Gun's really good. I like the Fusion Collider. I just think blast sometimes isn't always the best. If it was another Melta gun type thing, I would probably just keep that. But 6 shots normally with strength 7 AP 4, that's pretty good. I mean, that's like a really strong missile pod The range on it is 24 inches, so it's not as good as a missile pod, but still 24 inches. If you want to try to shoot that fusion blaster anyway, you got to be within 18 inches. So I think it's a good gun. So that's basically the Ghost Keel. I think I'm pretty excited about them. I think they're good. Once again, it's another elite slot, which the Tau have a ton of, which really kind of hurts them sometimes. But as long as you play in tournaments and stuff like that allow you to take multiple formations or detachments, not just a CAD, you should be okay. But if you're stuck with just a CAD, it's going to be hard choices to make that army. The next elite is the Riptide Battlesuit, and that is one that we had last time. That was a new one last time, which people jokingly called Codex Riptide instead of Codex Tau. I think they're very good. I think you're still going to see them played a lot. You may take up to 2 additional Riptides for 180 points, so you can have a squadron of 3 if you want to. Their weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3. Strength 6, toughness 6, so they can't really be instant killed unless you have an instant death weapon. There's 5 wounds versus 4 for the Ghost Keel. Initiative 2, attacks 3, leadership 9, and they're a monstrous creature. So they can smash if they want to, otherwise they're strength 6. They got 2-up save, and then they have the Nova Reactor, which they can choose to either try to get a 3-up save, invuln save, or they can try to boost 46 in the jetpack move, or they can try to overcharge their weapon if they want to. Now, if they fail it on a 1 or 2, they take a wound. I thought they were maybe going to correct it in this edition because there was rumor that it was, but it looks like the stim injectors, if you take them on your Riptide, can still give you a feel no pain for that wound. Now, they come with a twin-linked smart missile system, heavy burst cannon, and then they have fire support, or supporting fire team. You can take a plasma rifle or a fusion blaster that are both twin-linked for free in place of the smart missile system. My Riptides personally usually have the fusion guns, just because sometimes Tau have a hard time getting enough low AP weapons, so I kind of like having that twin link there. I usually use the ion blaster, or the ion accelerator, which you can trade out the heavy burst cannon for 5 points. You can take up to 2 shielded missile drones for 25 points a mon, which is kind of pricey. And the entire unit may take bonding knife ritual for 1 point. I think the only time that the bonding knife ritual might be important is if you're running a squadron of them, because if you just have one, it doesn't really matter. You're going to rally on that normal, leadership 9 anyway. But and even 2 maybe. But if you run 3, you still have 33%, don't you? Never mind. I apologize. I just corrected myself, but I actually have no idea why you would want to buy a bonding ritual knife, because honestly, you're never going to be below. Well, no, I take that back again. Sorry. If you're running a bunch of shielded missile drones and 3 Riptides, then you may want it, because you might get below 25% and want to be able to rally. But most people don't run the missile drones, but if you're just running 3 Riptides, you don't need it. Sorry, long story short there. The bonding ritual knives for the Ghost Keels is probably a good idea if you're going to run all 3 Ghost Keels and the 6 drones, because you do want to be able to rally at normal initiative. So I think it's worth it for them. I don't know about the Riptide. Sorry about that. I kind of went back and forth there. So that's it for the elite section. It's a little long, but I know it's the biggest section kind of for the Tau. So stick with me, and we'll go to part 4, which will be the fast attack section. Until next time, keep on wargaming and take care, guys.
Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Goodbye. See ya. Bye for now. Bye for now. Goodbye. I like bottoms.